In this video, I'll be showcasing 10 of your guys' unstable exotic weapon ideas. If you guys happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so first we have the unstable loaded sniper rifle. This is an exotic version of the bolt action sniper rifle, and whenever you hit an opponent with the unstable loaded sniper rifle, the weapon will instantly reload. So kind of think about it like this. You shoot your shot, you hit them, and instead of having to reload and wait for another shot to go off, you hit them, your gun instantly reloads, and you can just say scope turn on them and hit them again, for example. And then it just makes the gun way more efficient of a sniper rifle. Just being able to get shots off quicker, essentially, you know? This would probably be a pretty solid sniper, all things considered. I don't think it would be like the best sniper ever, because it would still have a little bit of a delay in between shots, because obviously as a sniper, it's not going to have a fast fire rate. And it's a bolt action, so it's obviously not going to be fast. But, you know, I could see this thing be comparable to like the Reaper, for example, or the Hunter Bolt, you know, where it's a sniper where you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about reloading it every time you shoot it. I don't think it would be as good as the semi-auto is, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. I feel like a lot of people still don't think the semi-auto is that great, but in OG, like the OG season, it was pretty good. Like the last time I was in the game, where it would like 200 to the head, you know? I don't think it would be as good as that semi-auto sniper, but I think it would probably be like a top 5 sniper if it was added to the game, you know? I think it'll be pretty good. Next, we have the unstable Nitro pistol. This is an exotic version of the tactical pistol, and the unstable Nitro pistol will give you infinite Nitro while holding the weapon. Very simple effect here, but I think this would be a pretty solid weapon. Obviously, the tactical pistol is already a pretty good weapon, so just adding an effect where you basically have infinite stamina and you can just damage opponents while running into them, I feel like is great. A great effect. In Blitz, if you get like the Nitro medallion, you are ecstatic because that medallion is great. That medallion is amazing. So just having a weapon that just gives you that effect infinitely while you're holding it, great weapon. You know, there are other weapons that kind of do this already with like slap and stuff, like the running gun SMG and the slap shotgun. However, the Nitro effect is just way better. Granted, it is on a pistol, so even though the tac pistol is really good, it's not an AR or an SMG. So that is a little bit of a downside. But I think it gets away with it just because, you know, the pistol itself is a really solid pistol and the effect is really good. So I think this weapon would be very, very solid. Next, we have the exotic spicy feet, and this is an exotic version of the icy feet. The unstable spicy feet act just like the normal icy feet. However, they grant the user the spicy pepper effect and glider redeploy. They also last longer. So this would probably be a decent movement item if it were added to the game today. I don't think it would be too crazy because it's still icy feet, and you know, the icy feet effect is kind of like very situational, you know, a mobility item. So I don't know if it would be too crazy. I definitely think, you know, having the additional speed boost and glider redeploy definitely helps. But then again, I just don't see this being too crazy, especially when we have like base boost in the game, you know, or the wing shot grappler. Like those two items like just outclass this in every way, you know? So I think this would be a situational kind of exotic, and you probably wouldn't want to get this from the Spire, but you know, it could be a little fun exotic, you know? Just be something cool. You know, maybe this could be like a cool Christmas exotic, you know? If this season was happening during Christmas, that would be cool. That could be a good idea, actually. Christmas exotic right here, you know? Could always use a few more Christmas exotics, because we only have 2, so could be fun. Next, we have the unstable Storm Splash. This is an exotic version of the Slap Splash, and the unstable Storm Splash will heal for 20 health or shield. Will also grant storm immunity for a short period of time. This storm immunity gets shorter the longer the game goes on. So, kind of think about this item like this. You know, it heals like a normal Chug Splash would, which I know it's not a Chug Splash, but it'll heal 20 because it's an exotic. It should heal for like a bigger amount, right? And you get the 20 health or shield, the storm immunity, so basically you can stay in the storm longer, basically. You won't be taking damage in the storm while this effect is active. And so it would be really good for like if you're deep in the storm and you have to rotate, pop this, like you're good. And the immunity does get shorter the longer the game goes on. So basically, you know, circle 10, you're not going to be getting like 10 seconds of storm immunity while everyone else is like dying in the storm. So you're basically just immune for that long. No, you'd get like maybe a second and then you start taking damage again, so it wouldn't be that good like to heal off, you know? So I think that definitely bounces this item, but I think this would be a very solid exotic, you know, just having the ability to not have to worry about, you know, storm or as much, especially in the early game. It can definitely encourage you to like, you know, go on the outer skirts of the map, you know? If, you know, like Aspire's on the outside of the map and you get this, you know, you're gonna be fine because you have this item. You won't be able to take a lot of storm damage, and I just think it would be very solid, you know? I think it would be a solid exotic. Next, we have the unstable rush drum gun. This is an exotic version of the drum gun, and when you are holding the unstable rush drum gun, you'll be granted the gold rush effect infinitely. Again, a very simple exotic here, and thematically it does make sense because this is an exotic drum gun, which is typically paired with Midas, who is the gold guy, you know? So, makes sense. Also, I want to mention that this would have the same attachments as the Gilded Eye drum gun, so very good. very good attachments there, you know. I think this would be a really good item. You know, the gilded eye drum gun's already good, and this would just give you better mobility while holding it, you know. So I think this would be a very solid exotic, and I think if you got this from the Spire, you would be happy. You would be very happy with this, you know. Like, there isn't many things better than the gilded eye drum gun, you know, in chapter 6 at least. So I think this would be a very solid exotic, and you know, I think it'd be fun, you know, just running across the map with this thing. Very good, you know. It's not as broken as the Nitro pistol, because while the Nitro effect I would say is better than Gold Rush, the pistol is definitely worse than the drum gun. At least this version of the drum gun. You know, the attack pistol is definitely better than some other versions of the drum gun, like the current drum gun, is not very good. I'd probably take attack pistol over that, but the gilded eye drum gun, definitely taking it over attack pistol any day. So I think it kind of balances out, you know. I think it's fun. Next, we have the unstable splash cannon. This is an exotic version of the bandage bazooka or the chug cannon, whatever. They're the same thing, just different rarities, you know what I'm saying? But when you fire the unstable splash cannon, it will fire a random splash item between the chug splash, slap splash, chili chug splash, and nitro splash. I know the nitro splash isn't really a splash item in the same sense that the other three are. Like, it's not like a drink or anything, but it's still a splash technically. So I thought I'd throw it in here. Or, well, I was in the comment. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It fits well enough. So this would probably be a very solid item. If this was added, it would probably have durability, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to say it doesn't have durability because this is my video, so I could say whatever I want about it. The unstable splash cannon would probably be really good because, you know, chug splash, you know, you're just healing, but it's a good effect anyway, so it's nothing crazy, but you're still getting a good effect. The slap splash obviously gives you slap and is still a good effect. You know, the chili chug splash, same as the chug splash, just gives you the pepper effect, so you go faster. And the nitro splash is basically the best of everything, you know? So I think this would be a solid item. You'd obviously probably want to get the nitro splash, but the other three effects aren't bad. So having this just constantly heal you, give you special good effects, very good. If you got this, you'd be set for the whole game. You know, it would take up 2 slots, but you know, I think that's a worthy trade-off, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be a very solid exotic. Next, we have the unstable Blitz shotgun. This is an exotic version of the drum shotgun, and when you reload the unstable Blitz shotgun, you'll get either the pepper effect, the slap effect, or the nitro effect for a short period of time. Obviously, it would be very beneficial, kind of like the blink exotics where they give you the 0-point dash, but this time with 3 different other effects. Definitely be very good exotic because, you know, the drum shotgun is already a very powerful weapon, and, you know, having the exotic effects I don't think makes or breaks the weapon. I think the exotic effects are just kind of like a bonus, kind of like the Frostfire shotgun, because the Frostfire shotgun doesn't really benefit from its exotic effect, but it also doesn't hurt it either. It's just kind of there. I think the same thing would happen for this too. You know, the effect is definitely nice to have. These effects are good, don't get me wrong, but it's a drum shotgun. You're taking it because it's a drum shotgun, and it's gonna probably win you a fight. So I think it would be a very good exotic. I don't know how many people would really take this over the Sentinel Pump because people like the Sentinel Pump better. But if you're not as good, let's just say, you'd probably take this over that. You know, just better than the Twin Fire in every way. Better for non-skilled players over the Sentinel Pump because, you know, drum shotgun is basically made for non-skilled players. So having this weapon definitely be good. Just the only caveat being that you'd have to go to defeat the Spire or buy it off of someone. Probably. So there is that, but I think this would be a very solid exotic. Next, we have the unstable Void Assault Rifle. This is an exotic version of the normal assault rifle, and the last shot in the mag of the unstable Void Assault Rifle would teleport you like the Void Oni mask. I do want to mention that the comment originally said the Fury AR, but I already made an exotic Fury AR in the first video in the unstable exotic series, so I changed it to the normal assault rifle. You know, please don't get mad at me. But yeah, this would probably be really good because let's say you're shooting at someone, you empty the clip, and then you teleport right on their face, pump out, shoot them, they're dead, you win the fight. Easy. Very solid exotic in my opinion. I think it would be very good, although I could see the effect getting a little bit annoying. You know, for example, let's say you're shooting an AI or something, and you don't really want to go over there. Maybe it's at a bad spot, right? You're shooting the AI, but you don't want to go over there, so you empty the clip on the AI, and then you teleport to where they are, and now you're in a bad position. You know, could be bad, but that's very situational. I think most of the times this effect would be beneficial for the user, so I think it would be very good. I think it would be a very solid exotic, you know. And if this was in the game, I think it would overall be a fun weapon. I don't think many people would complain about it. I think it would be good, you know. It would be very solid. All right. Next, we have the unstable charge sniper rifle. This is an exotic version of the semi-auto sniper rifle, and when you go to fire the unstable charge sniper rifle, you'll have to charge the weapon. You'll have to charge the shot. The longer you charge the weapon, the more damage it will do. The more damage the charge will do. The more damage the shot will do. So basically, charge shotgun, but a sniper rifle. So obviously, being a semi-auto sniper rifle, it has 10 shots, so you can kind of get away with firing this fast, although you won't be able to automatically fire it because you have to charge the shots. So you hold down the trigger, it charges the shot instead of fires it off. So some might see that as a detriment to the weapon. Some might see it as like a benefit, so you can line up the shots better. I think this would probably be worse than the OG semi-auto or the current semi-auto, I guess I'd say. Whatever version of the semi-auto does, 200 to the head. Right. I think it would probably be worse. But that being said, these 200 damage headshot sniper or semi-auto sniper is like insanely busted, like insanely broken. Like, so it being a little bit worse isn't really a detriment. It's kind of like the Zapatron now that I think about it. This is basically a Zapatron. That's something. Zapatron's good. It's probably would be a little bit of a nerfed version of the Zapatron if I'm being honest, but it would still be good. I still think it would be good. I just don't think it would be anything crazy. It would be an alright weapon. Alright, I believe this is the last weapon. Next, we have the Unstable Recon Grenade Launcher. This is an exotic proximity grenade launcher, and when the Unstable Recon Grenade Launcher explodes, it will mark all nearby enemies and chests. Basically, this is just a version of the Recon Scanner with like an offensive part to it. The Recon Scanner is already a very good it's not exotic, I don't know why I said exotic. The Recon Scanner is already a very good item, utility item, but it doesn't have any offensive capabilities, although it technically does. The little grenade that it shoots does 5 damage if it directly hits someone, but you're never directly hitting someone with a Recon Scanner, right? So, it has no offensive capabilities. But the Recon Scanner is a very good utility item for just revealing where people are in a nearby area. And I think having an item that does that also does damage to the players in that area, I think would be very, very solid. Proximity Grenade Launcher is a alright explosive item. I don't say it's the best, but I definitely don't think it's bad, You don't even have to shoot in the general area. It'll just explode as long as it's near a player. So I think that's very good. It could be very good in squads modes, I think, because the explosive effect obviously does splash damage. But if their team is not in the direct area of where their teammate is, then you can mark their teammate while also shooting at them, and you can learn where their teammates are, basically, right? So I think this exotic would be very, very good. That being said, I don't know if many people would want to take it for the proximity grenade launcher part more than they just want to take it for the Recon Scanner part. But, that being said, the option's always there, I think it would be very good, and that's about it. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving the like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Later.